Yeah. So when I woke up, I thought my monitor was glitching or something. When the news came out about Sarepta had another death in a different drug, I was literally like doing prank calls and stuff last night, and people were asking. I was like, nah, this don't matter. I guess the market feels otherwise. It's very strange. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, like, yeah, yeah, I don't know what to make of it because it's yeah, a lot has traded. It seems like I don't see how anything really has changed. In fact, the FDA knew about this death. The company knew about this death. So I don't see why it would change. If the FDA knew about it, then I'm not sure what it changes. I mean, there are going to be more deaths. I mean, when something is a 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 500 or whatever, even a 1 in 100, you're gonna see more and more. So I don't know why to panic. Yeah, I think some people, exactly, TVA. I think some people maybe, I guess, think that, we can't trust management. That's a big reason. That's kind of a big Wall Street thing. But if you're management, I mean, I don't know, I guess you think that, I don't know, do you give why not announce it, right? I mean, I guess their point would be like, do we have to give a blow by blow of every death we get from now on? Does that make sense? I don't know that makes sense to do. There's no conspiracies. I mean, well, I do think, yeah, so I mean, I do think somebody gave it to BioCentury, no doubt about that. So, but I wouldn't call that a conspiracy. Okay, yeah, I guess I agree. But it sucks because it was just fighting Rigetti and Quantum. Well, Levi and Krasinski gets their 5 or 10 million in a settlement and they run away. I mean, that's how they do things. I think it's a buy. I did sell at 28. I feel bad. Yeah, I just feel bad because I guess I feel like I should have been more vocal. I mean, no matter how many times I say it, I do think it bears repeating. If your position's too big, yeah, I'm buying back in when I get the buying power of this account. Schwab is just a disaster because I have the concentrated position, I guess, in Rigetti. So now I have to like liquidate that, but I don't want to really liquidate it I want to wait for it to fall. So anyway, we'll see. I don't think it changes anything. So BZAI, bizarre, trying to be an AI, kind of this AI company. I've never heard of them. Tiny market cap. It's doubled. My average in quantum is obviously a lot lower than where they're at. I made money on Sarepta. I sold it at 28, so I just feel bad for anybody that didn't trim it as well. Wait, there's a call? Another one? What? There's a call. 10:30. What? Where's the press release? Did they not issue? They did not issue a press release. These guys, how many calls are they gonna do? Jesus Christ. Yeah, I would think that makes sense. No, I don't think a call is bad. Give me a sec, I'll reset the mic. They do need an activist. I don't think it's news. I mean, I really didn't, last night I was trying that AI thing these guys gave me and I was just like, oh yeah, Sarepta had death, no biggie. Whatever. Now when I woke up I was like, down what? Excuse me, what? I just feel bad for everybody that's in. I have a responsibility to you guys too. We got to look at some new stocks. I do think it's an overreaction, but how many overreactions are we going to get? It's every 2 weeks there's a new overreaction. First it's, Vinay joins the FDA. Then it's like, he's not so bad. He doesn't really care. Then it's, we're going to miss guidance. And then it's like, numbers are still pretty good. Then it's, people are dying from the drug. And it's like, actually it's not that bad. It's only a rare side effect. And then it's, people are still dying from the drug. Okay. Eventually you get exhausted. No, of course it's still long, but it's just like so exhausting. Their gene therapies are almost like transplants. They require immunosuppression. The body thinks that the capsid from the gene therapy virus is dangerous, and you get this big immune inflammatory response. Yeah, no, we have to look at some other stocks. What's up, biotech investor? First time. The one thing I learned about big pharma M&A is they do not like risk. It is the weirdest thing in the world. They'll take all kinds of risk in development. They will not buy risk. And it is the strangest thing. Like, these people do not think like investors. They think of M&A as how to expand their strategic priorities, or like fulfill their strategic priorities. Capital is worth nothing. You know, it depends on the severity of the disease and the kind of treatment. Obviously, you want your drug to be as safe as possible. But gene therapy is not that safe. It's a virus that infects all of the cells in your body to add a new protein that your body doesn't know about. So you can imagine for some patients, this causes a big immunoreaction. Simulation software for biopharma has been a dog. 0 DTEs, that's like, I can't. Yeah, I think we rally back to 20. I don't know if it happens today. I do think we rally back. I don't think Doug calming down makes a difference. Doug stepping down makes a difference. No, you see the buying power in my account is massively negative because my Rigetti supersize. Yeah, Joseph has got it right. Cancer patients die all the time in clinical trials. They have a more fatal illness than DMD. DMD is 100% fatal, but DMD takes time, and you don't want to accelerate the death of anybody. No, I can't believe the rally in XRP. We're really at like a stretched valuation for the markets in general. Yeah, if even Ethereum's rallying, you know we're in trouble. I'm assuming Daniel for material science or electronics, hopefully not for biotech. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to read the D-Wave study, but I read the high level. Yeah, I have no worries about my performance. Yeah, in a bull market, every idiot is up 50% or 100%. In the 2000 bull market, Soros and Tiger called it quits. They weren't jealous of the cab driver who bought $10,000 of .coms to double his money. Let's not get it twisted. You know, in the .com bubble, you know, there were articles saying, has Buffett lost his touch? Is Buffett out of touch because Buffett wasn't diving into bird.com? I think you can look at the disclosure both ways. Like, you could argue that maybe they shouldn't have disclosed it, because if you think about, like, normally in clinical trials, you wait till the end to report it. Yeah, it's weird. Like, you don't have a disclosure obligation for every little piece of a clinical trial. Yeah, I don't see why it shouldn't go to flat, but ultimately, like, I didn't think it'd go down either. Yeah, it's rallying a little bit. Like I said, I don't see why it shouldn't be flat. I mean, I don't know. It's just hard. It's hard to have confidence in the pit of despair, right? Yeah, quantum short is basically all I got at this point. Well, you think you know quantum mechanics? You think you got me beat? You're going to be using quantum computers tomorrow? You're going to run Crisis finally? You got this. You know computing. Yeah. Teach us, wise one. Their stock go up, so I buy it. And they keep going up forever. I can beat the pros. Yeah, AVXL is a short. Okay, I got Rigetti, IonQ, D-Wave, INMB, QUBT. Just almost everything, just short.
It's so reinforcing when the people around you are doing it successfully, you're doing it successfully, and it's a lot like Cinderella at the ball. I mean, you know at midnight everything's going to turn to pumpkins and mice, right? But as the evening goes along, I mean, you know, the guys look better all the time, the music sounds better, it's more and more fun. You think, why should I leave at 11:45? You know, I'll leave at 2 minutes to 12. But the trouble is, there are no clocks on the wall. And everybody thinks they're going to leave at 2 minutes to 12.
Having a good time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. That's kind of like good advice for today, to be honest. Pumpkins and mice. It's going to be Cinderella. It's going to be pumpkins and mice. I love it when old people say stuff like that. We're enjoying our time at the ball.
Human beings going through combinations of fear, greed, and all of that sort of thing, their behavior can lead to bubbles. And it may have had an internet bubble at one time, and you've had a farmland bubble in the Midwest, which resulted in all kinds of tragedy in the early 80s.
Charlie Rose interview of Buffett, I actually didn't know it existed. And I used to be the super Buffett-holic, man. There wouldn't be no Buffett interview that I didn't know about. I got the baggy blues. I got the baggy blues. Stock's going down. Going down. I don't know when it'll be back. I got the baggy blues. I got the baggy blues. Got the baggy blues. Feel that, feel that. Ignorance is bliss.
Good morning and welcome to Sarepta's conference call to host analyst Q&A regarding...
Sorry for making a second conference call. Well, you know, when you buy distressed stocks that are all up, this is kind of par for the course. I think it'll rally. Hey man, that is a good question and very important. So 𝗤𝗔𝗥𝗧𝗦 did not have any problems with this. That's a big reason why I'm bullish on Sarepta. I mean, at 28, I just made like 60%. You know, it's a stock that like tends to drop. So I just felt like maybe I could buy it back at a lower price. I did not think I could buy it back at this much of a lower price. Google is having issues right now. It's not Gödel. If I don't stay on top of a company and I see it go 50%, I generally would let it go squeege. Guys, I'm not going to move the Sarepta stock price. Relax. Google, Cloud, and Google Auth are all having issues right now. I am told by my dev squad. You want Rigetti at 1? Hold on, let me run the script. There you go, Forte. That's exactly right, Leonard. If I knew when stocks would top, I mean, it wouldn't be investing. It'd be free money printing. Everybody knows these stocks are overvalued. The question is, when do they start going down? Claire, the Midwestern Hedgie, they are actually very good. I highly recommend you follow. They have a big fund, actually. Aristides Capital. Billion under management in Kentucky. No joke. Nah, I don't think anything changed with Sarepta. There we go, 19 bucks. 48% discount to what? There probably is a 𝗕𝗊𝗘𝗢𝗏 or a 𝗏𝗏. They're a very good investor. Yeah, I think we had a local top with the wild ride. Trust me, in 2000, every hedge fund wanted to give up. Everyone felt the same way. But yeah, Claire is complaining a ton about, I'll just retweet their tweet. I still like ADMA. Yeah, I woke up, it was at I forgot what it was, 16. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, right? That's my point, Maddie, is that this market has been very, very tricky. Everyone's complaining about the same thing. It's all garbage going up, and you get people delusional enough they start to believe the garbage. And then some people, Ratchet here is an example. Exactly, I think Ratchet is exactly right, but also like the point is like shorts get nervous, I guess is what I'm saying. And shorts are like, I can't touch it. You know, it's gone up so much. And it's like, look, if you short it here and wait, you'll get paid. And you know, they don't want the pain. Yeah, I mean, this happened in the .com bubble. This happened in the housing bubble. You had people taking out mortgages to buy 83 houses, 83 condos in Miami. Yeah, Swift is partially right too. Yeah, Trump's helping, you know, it's just a major. Yeah, no, there's no institutional interest in quantum. If anything, the more they learn about quantum, the more they want to stay away from it. IonQ should buy Sarepta. Now they had real revenue. I could see that CEO being like, with $2 billion of revenue, IonQ is positioned to lead in quantum. Insider selling, bullish, more stock for retail to buy. We have a heat map. We kind of have a heat map thing, but it's not for what you're looking for. So as you can see, the component exists. So we can kind of make it work. So I'll work on getting that done. We should have something like H map or something, or heat. Level 2, 3. We can get you level 2 data. You want colors? HDS is holders list. And then on the bottom left, click something else. Oh, we're definitely gonna do portfolio management. We're gonna try to pay you guys for your trading and stock picks. It's gonna be sick. So Gödel content creators, that's how we're gonna get retail. You can get a discount on Gödel, maybe even get it for free, but you gotta show me all your trades. You gotta show me everything. Restrictions do apply. By signing up for Gödel, you waive your right to all information. Any litigation will be resolved in the favor of Gödel. Terms and conditions may apply. When you sign up, we will connect your brokerage account. We reserve the right to drain your brokerage account. All information on the brokerage account will be sold to Citadel. No, I think that... No, EQS is not fully functional here. I think we want people with regular... No, not yet. We'll get port soon. Every day we take off another function that Bloomberg has. So our most recent one was GR. And the boys are working hard on beta and international. International is taking forever. I like Uber. Well, Noah, Sarepta has real value. They have $2 billion in revenue. Usually in pharma, that's worth like 3 times sales, bare minimum. So the stock looks like it could triple. So I like it. The reason this opportunity exists is because the company's under siege. It's had hit after hit after hit to its credibility, its portfolio, but the fact remains that it's still very valuable. So I like stocks that, you know, it's would value a lot of value investors do. Mean reversion investing. I buy the pain and I sell the euphoria. Usually the pain doesn't stop the second I buy it. It keeps being painful. And usually when I short the euphoria, it doesn't end the second I shorted because I say so. The party keeps continuing. But as Buffett mentioned, it's Cinderella. Everybody knows at midnight, they're going back to pumpkins and mice. Cinderella is still a poor, brokey girl with bad stock picks. You didn't become a hedgie. You didn't become a tiger cub. Sorry, Cinderella. Get back to reception. But sometimes Cinderella gets to play with the big boys. That, like I said earlier, in the dot-com bubble, everyone thought they were smarter than Buffett. But you can't patent a system that displays the news. There's no patent on that. Yeah, in the bull market, people lose their moorings. They start to think, maybe I should buy some exotic technology thing I don't understand. I mean, I love Tess, the quantum bull, but she admits she doesn't know what the business is. She doesn't understand what the machines really do. And I think if you believe that you can time when the tides and emotions will change, well, good luck. You know, it's over time, it seems like it's been very difficult for any one person to be a market timer. But I do think you can learn the art of investing. And so, yeah, a lot of hedge funds sort of gave up shorting when there was when stocks seemed like they would only go up. And of course, the second the second they quit shorting, you know, the stocks fall apart. So it's rough. You know, it's not meant to be easy. You know, in quote unquote normal markets, the opportunities are more normal. In wild markets, the opportunities are amazing, but you feel crazy chasing them. In a wild bear market, I don't know if you guys remember 2008, 2009. No, we were working on an IV service function, coming soon Swift. In 08, in 09, companies would beat earnings and go down 10%. You know, you could buy Pfizer at 7 times earnings. And people were scratching their heads. How could this be? And firms would just sell Pfizer anyway, even at 7 times earnings. No risk to earnings, no big risks. Guaranteed 7 times earnings. That's a 16% yield. Crazy. 15%. And still would go down every day. You could have bought any stock you wanted in 08 and 09 for nothing. But you had to wait. If it was easy, everybody would be rich. So you just have to either, you know, make a trade-off. There's a lot of trade-offs you can make. Let me see if I can. This might help. This might help me a little bit. Let's see here. So I think, you know, basically there's always this, for profits, there's always a trade-off. And what's the trade-off that you're making? So Buffett, his favorite saying is, the stock market is a machine that takes the impatient money and transfers it to patient money. And I think that's a funny way to look at the stock market. But if you think that through, it's one way to think about it. And remember, when we talked about market making, this is sort of the point, is that the market maker is willing to, you know, put a bid and an ask and be patient. You know, and his definition of patience isn't much. It's, I'm going to hold this for 3 hours. I'm willing to hold this merchandise you just sold me for 3 hours, but you want it sold in three seconds. So the market maker says, okay, I'll buy it at, I don't know, $17.90. You probably could have sold it at $17.92 if you waited, but I'll buy it at 1790 and I'll wait. And then, you know, at some point that'll be that. I don't know. Probably downgrade or something. Needham downgrades Sarepta. No, FDA news. Oh, McCary says they're taking a hard look at the drug. They just did I don't think that's a big deal. FDA. I mean, this is no different from... It's no different from the last time. I think... Yeah, there's not new news. He's just got a microphone in front of him, so he has to say something. But FDA had all this news. They could have pulled the drug. The problem is places like the FDA do react to media more than they react to anything else. I'm very confident because we had Rigetti and D-Wave go crazy the last 2 days, so I don't have any room for it. I don't remember 100 to 80, but yeah, it's been just issue after issue after issue with Sarepta. Just a complete, loss of faith and trust. And well, we know what their earnings are going to be. Yeah, I mean, the comments from the FDA chief, I don't think mean anything. I don't think it's going to 0. Not yet, Mike. I mean, in Q2, they had a pretty good quarter for 𝗦𝗫𝗔𝗔. I don't think doctors are that focused on this the same way Wall Street is. That was the disconnect in the first place. When 𝗕𝗀𝗏𝗡 had its patient deaths, everyone thought it was all over for 𝗕𝗀𝗏𝗡. Wall Street was crazy. And ultimately, the FDA looked into it. It was a much bigger emergency than this. And nothing happened, and they kept using 𝗕𝗀𝗏𝗡. Revenue didn't go down. Yeah, there are like 2 or 3 drugs FDA approved for muscular dystrophy. So it's an option. And it depends on your patient's and family's perspective. If they say, listen, we'll try anything, then they'll keep trying it. Bald CEO I dislike. A bald CEO I dislike. A bald CEO I dislike. You gotta give me the ticker. I'm sorry. Sorry if you don't like the keyboard sound. Yeah, I think the PMOs are worth PMOs, limb-girdle, the rest of the pipeline. You just need to wait a little bit. Let the dust settle. You gotta measure this stuff in days or weeks or months, not seconds. Sarepta should not be 70% of your portfolio. That's irresponsible. Lawsuits aren't really a big deal in our industry. I don't know where you come from, but getting sued is not something that companies fear. Oh no, class action. What do we do? It's a little thing called liability insurance and general insurance.